What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video. Hope you guys are all having a great week so far. It is currently Tuesday afternoon, about 3 p.m. right now. Today's video is just going to be an update video talking about my current cash flow on my 3 rental properties, and also talking a little bit more about my short-term goals over the next couple years here in terms of not only like all my real estate stuff, but just my passive income in general and my goals for that. For those guys that don't know, a little update. My second rental property I ever bought, I actually just got it rented out like 4 days ago to a new family. Everything so far has gone good. They paid me security deposit, first month's rent, their pet deposit on time, everything. We're in great communication, so hopefully this will be a great long-term tenant for me. This rental previously was a student rental, and this was the student rental that I've actually had a lot of tough times and stress with. So we're just going to kind of run through it right now. I'm going to talk about my first ever rental property and the current cash flow I have on it. This was the first property that I ever bought. So this took me like an hour and a half to kind of prep this entire video. I did this little presentation style document, so I hope you guys enjoy that. I have a little bit of information on the actual property up here. Purchase price for this, I actually just made a video on this specific house, so this will be a quick one because you guys, for those of you guys that follow my YouTube, you guys have seen this video before on this specific house. But I bought it for $209,900. My financing on it was 20% down payment, and I have 80% loan to value ratio on it. Date purchased was actually, by the time you guys are watching this video, it's probably like 1 or 2 days. I think I bought it July 3rd, 2019. So whatever day this is you guys are watching it, it's probably just about 2 years. So my previous rent on this property, I jumped right into it with student rentals. I actually ran Facebook ads and blasted it around like a 1 mile radius within the campus around this house, and I actually got a lot of response and a lot of potential tenants and students for this property. And on the ad on Facebook, I limited the age to like 26 years old, so it would like target specific students. Previous rent, it averaged out to $450 a room right here. I have 4 rooms in this. 2 of them have bathrooms, so I think it was like $425, and then the ones with the 2 bathrooms was $475. So it equaled out to $1,800 a month. I have taken care of the water bill on this property. I actually had paid for the Wi-Fi for almost a year on this property as well, but their water bill is actually cheaper than my other property. And then my mortgage at the time when I bought this house was $1,006, making my monthly cash flow when I first bought it $724. Now my new rents, I've raised the rents. I've gotten 3 of my 4 tenants have actually been new tenants. I've had 1 tenant stay there since 2019. She's freaking awesome. She pays me all the time, like 2 weeks in advance. She'll pay me at the middle of the month for the next month, which is great. My average rent now is like, I have tenants all over the place. I have 1 at like $438. I have 2 just under $500, and I have 1 at like $475. This property is actually supposed to be vacant, or their leases are up next month. So I actually have to start hunting for new students to fill up these rooms if I want to keep the no vacancy going. So I'm doing just about $1,900 a month on this property. I still am paying the water bill, which is $70 a month. It's a lot easier to pay some of the bills for students because oftentimes they don't know each other when they're moving in, and it could be a lot of drama to have them try to split utility bills. So I try my best to alleviate some of that and just add it on to the rent. But like in Arizona, the electric bill for a house like this, if they're not paying for it themselves, they will run up the electric bill I can almost guarantee for a small house like this, 1,400 square feet, an older house with not a lot of good insulation in it, the AC bill can easily get up to $1,000 a month. My mortgage is $872 a month because I refinanced on this property a couple months ago, which is great. I cut off $130 a month of that's just going back into my pocket. My cash flow is just under $1,000. I actually am doing $1,000 a month because every single dollar that I get from this rental property, I put it into my BlockFi Interest Account, which gets me 8.6% monthly interest. So I have quite a bit of money in there from the rents over the last 2 years, and that's collecting me a couple $100 a month as well, just for letting it sit in that interest account. Information for that BlockFi account will be below. You guys can use my referral code, and we each get $10 for you signing up if you deposit $100 into an account. For those of you guys that just are sitting on money right now and waiting to do something with it or waiting to spend it, I would just suggest putting it in BlockFi and just letting it collect interest right now. 8.6% interest on your money annualized is really, really good until you're ready to spend it on whatever it may be. Like for right now, all my money for my next house. My down payment for my next house is sitting in my BlockFi account until I'm ready to spend it. But in the meantime, it's collecting me that much interest. So it's great. Highly suggest it. Here's some pictures of it. It's like, I feel like I'm back in like middle school creating a little slideshow for you guys. But this is actually way easier than clicking in and out of multiple documents here. So this is the condition that I actually bought it in. This is by far the least renovated property that I own. So now let's move on to rental number 2. This is the rental that I want to talk about most in this video because this is the one that I just rented out. I had like rentals in general in Arizona have skyrocketed lately, guys. It's absolutely insane how much not only real estate prices for purchasing a house have gone up, rental prices have gone up in this specific area 25% over the last year and a half here. So I took advantage of that, or I'm taking advantage of that, and I didn't want to, like, student rentals are very stressful, especially this one. I had so much internal roommate student drama at this house where I don't have the picture with me right now, but there was a point in this house where the tenants would leave like knives in the backyards and handprints on the window to try to scare off the other tenants from moving out. And I was in the middle of absolutely everything, which was just extremely awful. I'd get phone calls at 3 a.m. at night complaining and yelling at, oh, so-and-so did this, so-and-so's not paying this, there's like a knife on the front door, like I'm calling the cops, this is ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. And like, I eventually at one point I was like, you know what, just move out. I'm not going to charge you. I'm not going to dock your credit score or anything like that. This is just so stressful for me. Just move out. So although the rents look high right here, for a lot of this time, I actually only had 3 of the rooms rented because I couldn't find the 4th one rented. And to be honest with you, as long as I was cash flowing, I didn't want to have to find a 4th roommate because it would have just caused more drama. So that's a big problem with student rentals, guys. You're going to have to deal with internal problems that you never thought you're going to have to deal with as a landlord. It's going to be the center of attention for you. Like, I thought my biggest problems were going to be problems with the actual house itself. I haven't had any problems with the house itself. I had so many more problems with the actual tenants in there. So getting a family in there where everyone knows each other and they're not going to call you up for these stupid problems was way worth it for me, especially since rents are actually almost exactly what I was charging my students, and you always get more you always get more for having students as your tenants because you're charging per room and you can get away with a lot more money. My old rent was like around 400. I had one room rented for like $475 and then the other one's rented for like $438. So it's pretty much equivalent to $450 a month, $1,800, which was similar to my other rental. These are down the street from each other, by the way. They're like 14 houses away from each other. $80 water bill. This water bill was more expensive for some reason. My mortgage was a little bit cheaper because I put 25% down and I got it for a little bit lower of a price point. I bought this for just under $200,000, which is unheard of right now and anywhere in Arizona, really anywhere in the Phoenix area, no matter how bad the property is. Getting a house under 200 is great. So this made for a decent amount of time $814 a month. When I lost a tenant, it was down to like $350 to $450 a month, depending on if I had to do any repairs to it. So now my new rents, as of this month, is the first month where I have my new tenants in there. I am getting $1,795 a month out of this property. I had over 100 messages from people wanting to rent this house. I had over 40 applications of people applying for my rental property, and I had it on Zillow for less than a week. So there's so much demand in Arizona right now, especially for this rental price. It blows me away. I didn't refinance on this property, so my mortgage is still $906. Making my monthly cash flow, projected monthly cash flow, $889. And the good thing with family rentals is you can put all the utilities on them. So I really, really like that. I don't have anything under my name anymore, which is a lot easier because I don't like having fluctuations in my cash flow. Right now, if they pay me rent, my mortgage is going to stay the same. You may have an increase in taxes every once in a while, but besides that, your mortgage is going to stay the same throughout the 30 years unless you refi. So it's pretty consistent cash flow, which is what I like, rather than like having a water bill and an electric bill, which can fluctuate $100, $200 of your cash flow every month. Here's some pictures of it. These are actually the listing photos that I had recently, so you guys can have a look at what it looks like if I mean, if you were to rent this property, this is what you would have saw online. 1 bathroom, and then this does have a pretty bad addition to it. This picture right here, if you guys can see that little AC unit right here, there is no heating and cooling from the central cooling or any ducting in there. So I actually had to purchase a wall unit to get this area to cool down. Moving on to the third property, by far my favorite one. I always talk about this. This is down the street from where I live. By far the best deal that I've gotten out of the three. I picked this up for $292,000 almost a year ago. 25% down on this property because my DTI, I needed to put more down payment onto it. And then date purchase June. Current estimated value. There is a house across the street from this house, like across the street from my house, exact floor plan, exact same square footage, that just got listed for $475,000, and it went well over ask is what the agent said. He can't disclose exactly what it went for, but that blows me away. It's in way better condition than my property, but I believe, like in Gilbert right now, it's insane. I believe I can get $475,000 no problem out of this house if I were to sell it, which is over just under $200,000 of equity just from purchasing this property and holding it for a year, which is insane. I did get it for a really good deal. I got it for about $40,000 to $50,000 under market value. Previous rents, I rent this out to 2 of my friends. They are getting the best deal in Gilbert. So, you really gonna sit here?
Yeah, I want to see what it is.
They're getting the they're getting the best deal in Gilbert right now. I'm renting it for $1,675 a month. I think I can probably get rent $2,200 a month is what I think I can get out of it. I need to talk to him about raising the rent. My mortgage is $1,305 a month, with HOA being $90 a month. This HOA community is incredible, so it's worth spending the $90. Although I have about $1,000 of fines from the HOA because of my tenants are parking out front, which you're not supposed to park out front for more than 24 hours, making my monthly cash flow on this property $280 a month. So I definitely, for the house it is, for how big it is, for the area it is, this is the least amount of rent I'm collecting out of the 3 properties I own, which is insane. And then, yeah, no new rents. I still have the same rent on this, so I'm going to probably talk to him this month about raising the potential rent here. This is some pictures of it. It doesn't look quite like this. I haven't been there in a while, but I'm pretty sure their dog ripped up some of the turf and stuff, so it may look a little bit worse than what it does now, but that's pretty much it. So now the final document I want to show you guys before my camera overheats is the current cash flow. So my monthly current cash flow for all 3 of these properties is $2,127 a month, making my yearly cash flow $25,524. Principal pay down, this is something I want to talk about. So every time my tenants pay me, I'm paying my mortgage. I'm basically taking down my mortgage less and less every month from paying it off. So this is what principal pay down is. A lot of it's going towards interest right now, but my principal every single year, basically $9,000 less a year I owe the banks. So I'm adding that to my income because technically my tenants are paying for it. So in total, it's about $34,524 a year. Now my goal, so I'm 27 years old. My goal for when I'm 30 is to have $8,333 a month in passive income, which is $100,000 a year. There's a couple ways I can approach this. I can either buy more properties, which is what I want to do, or I can start paying down my other properties and paying them down in full, so I can just every single month, whatever my tenants are paying me, it's basically all cash flow. I'm obviously going to leverage the bank's money, so me accumulating more rental properties is probably the approach I want to do. I want to get, my goal is to get 5 properties within the next couple years here, 5 total, not 5 more, although that would be awesome. But that's pretty much it for the video, guys. If you guys are interested in the Arizona area, I am a licensed real estate agent, so you guys can reach out to me. I'd love to work with you guys on it. I've worked, 95% of my clients are investors. Thank you guys so much. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.